Hello everyone! Welcome to the Enthu English podcast. I'm Klaudia Łojas, your Enthu English Coach. Thank you for tuning in. I'm really happy to be back and able to present to you my fresh insights into speaking fluently. Here's what I have come to believe based on my own learning experience, my learning journey as a non-native speaker of English and a certified teacher of English. That fluency comes from familiarity. What does it mean? With that in mind, let's dive right in. You'll find out along the way. The key word throughout the episode today will be familiarity, as you already know, and not just in the context of learning English. Stay with me and I'll share with you what has sparked my realization and what has prompted me to look at fluency from a new perspective. Alright, get cozy, grab your favorite drink and listen, pause and think along with me. I'd like to start with my solo bike trip I took the other day just to a nearby area. And as I was cycling around, this group of folks zooms past me, and clearly I think they are tourists, and out of the blue one of them blurts out, "What a beautiful place." Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear someone gushing about how amazing something is, I can't help but feel intrigued. So there I was, off my bike, just scrolling through my emails, all of a sudden, when I catch wind of the comment as they get by me. Next thing I know, I'm tearing my eyes away from my phone and looking to my right. And what do I see? Wow, they were right. A juicy green meadow spreading out across the hillside. I mean, it was like a scene straight out of a postcard. Suddenly I'm thinking to myself, wow, oh boy, this place is seriously magical. It's like nature's own little slice of paradise, and it's been there all along. It made me think, really, it did. I paused, looked around and realized how accustomed I've become to this landscape, to the point where I don't even notice the depth of its beauty. My eyes, although, gazing at it, looking at it, didn't truly see anything. It's as if they've become unresponsive to a greater or lesser degree, almost like they are just gliding over the landscape in front of them. And now, unlike the cyclist whose breath was stolen by the view ahead, me hearing that comment just made me reflect. And this moment at the foot of the hill, so familiar to me, opened my eyes to a specific connection with speaking fluency. Yes, and that's what I want to talk about more now. Contrary to what you might assume, this analogy presents familiarity with the language in a positive light. The ideal is to internalize the language to such a degree that you're not even conscious of all the goodies, of all the lexical and grammatical goodies, nuances, just effortlessly flowing from your mouth as you speak. I can proudly say that I've witnessed this happen for many of you in my classes. Almost every time I draw your attention to how fluently you've expressed yourself using a string of words smoothly, you're often surprised. Really? Yes, really. This is happening. And it can be happening. But how, you might ask? I think that you need to walk the same neural path in your brain repeatedly, over and over again, to create well-trodden traces and easily recall the chunks or expressions you want to inhabit your brain for years to come. And why did I use the word inhabit? I did so mindfully because that's where the essential meaning lies. The word contains another within it, habit. And now, going back to familiarity. It's this state when you do something out of habit. When you make something your habit, when something becomes habitual to you. And you can say that you've been there many times before. You've done something many times before. And now what about the language? When a new chunk or expression or any piece of language that catches your attention, inhabits your brain, it finds its home there. It makes a cozy nest. It sounds so good. But some of these chunks come to you without you even trying to memorize them through intentional practice. And it happens to your delightful surprise more organically. For example, when you're lucky to encounter the target chunk once in an article, another time in a podcast, and yet again in a film. Perfect conditions, indeed. But what's the reality? Of course, you cannot rely on waiting until you've seen the chunk frequently enough by chance, by pure chance. Of course, it's inspiring and uplifting when it happens, certainly. But there are long stretches of time when it might not, and when, in fact, it doesn't. So what leads to fluency? Little by little, step by step. Alright, so here are my 10 tips for you to speak English fluently. All these are gleaned from my own experience and teaching and coaching practice. Get ready? Number 1. Create a structured learning plan. Here, your job is to develop a clear plan that includes regular practice sessions, exposure to authentic materials, and targeted learning objectives. The keyword, clarity. Get clarity. Number 2, engage actively with the language. Simply take proactive steps. For example, participate in conversations, join language exchange groups, or find a conversation partner to practice speaking regularly, or maybe find a job where you have no choice but speak English. Number 3, experiment and learn from your spectacular mistakes. Yeah, I could say don't be afraid to try new words or phrases. I know, easier said than done. But that's how you can learn from any mistakes, if you make them, and if you learn from them along the way. If you have a keen eye for detail, each mistake is an opportunity for improvement. Number 4, practice deliberately. This is about focusing on specific aspects of the language you want to improve. It can be pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and then it's about practicing them intentionally. So you need to be mindful of what you need to speak more fluently. And selectiveness is necessary. Number 5, reflect on your speaking. Yes. Take time to evaluate your speaking skills regularly. Again, be consistent. Identify areas of strength and weakness, and then accordingly set goals for improvement. Number 6, a little bit about native speakers, but not necessarily. Can be any non-native speaker who is proficient in English. Observe them, pay attention to how they use the language in different contexts, because this can help you understand natural speech patterns and even cultural nuances. Number 7, clearly seek feedback. Ask for it from anyone who is proficient in English or your language instructor to help identify areas where you could get even better and receive guidance on how to address any issues. Number 8, develop your own voice, your own authentic voice. We all know that it's important to learn from others, but we often forget to develop our own unique speaking style and voice in a foreign language. I think that I have this impression that it comes actually last. And 9, continuous revision. I cannot stress it enough, but regular review and practicing the previously learned material is essential. Even beyond the point of feeling like I know it so well, I don't have to practice. If you do continue, you can definitely reinforce your knowledge and maintain your fluency. Last but not least, number 10, mental rehearsal. What's that about? Practice speaking scenarios first in your mind and then out loud. And you can do it privately, trust me, to improve your ability to express yourself, comfortably and spontaneously when all of a sudden you need to speak, so that you are not caught off guard, you don't get tongue-tied. And now, in my self-designed courses, I create diverse learning materials to promote exactly these stepping stones toward fluency. And you can rely on them both in my classes and beyond them in the comfort of your own self-paced learning. I think there's something more that I'd like to add about the 10 tips to get more fluent and to maintain your fluency, or even to develop it more and more. It's that each of them separately might not hold as much power as when you combine them all together, or create a colorful cocktail with the ingredients that suits you most at different times. It's important to remember that some of them relate to your beliefs, your mindset, and others to your attitude and daily habits. And sprinkled throughout along the way are your feelings. Yes, we are all emotional beings. It's important to start with your beliefs, as they directly influence your attitudes, which in turn affect your feelings, and then these, on the other hand, direct your behavior. Yeah, it's all the brain. I do believe that becoming fluent isn't some distant dream. If you have one, it's achievable as long as you put your mind to it, as long as you stay determined, keep the why at the front of your mind, and have the right kind of resources and support to propel you forward. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you so much. Stay abundantly inspired and keep that flame of determination burning bright. And remember, again, fluency isn't a distant dream. It's yours for the taking. Do join me in my classes where I'll create a safe and vibrant space for you to thrive as a fluent, yes I mean it, English speaker. Let's journey together towards your language goals, whatever they might be. I'm happy to follow you. Until next time, I'm Klaudia, your Enthu English Coach. Bye bye.